Zion, Aiden, Sergio, Hatzel, a lot of great days. You've decided who's going to start 354 days from now.
Exactly, no. No, we don't have a depth chart right now. We won't have one till game week of next fall. So that's the beauty of this time right now, of just developing them and let them battle that out. We've got a long way to go before we can name starters at any position.
Yeah, you've been in this situation before where you had a season before you play any games and playing against someone else. What's unique about this particular time as opposed to UTSA, where maybe you learned something from that situation as you practice for the first time here in front of folks?
Yeah, and very similar. We set it up the same way with that runway and the practice year, but the opportunity to just do it again and do some things better. And the way we're structuring practice and focusing on our player development piece right now, and really working on building these young men and building that chemistry in the locker room, and starting there from the ground up. But it's good. Been going a couple weeks and excited to see what the next couple months have to produce.
Last thing I'll ask you. There's a few familiar names on the roster to Valley football fans now. AJ Gonzaga coming in. I saw Sergio Monta, who is going to be on this team, who's won 2 national championships at the levels he's played at. You're preaching what you said you were going to do, and that's recruit the Valley. When you can bring in transfers like that to have some leadership, how important is that when you can have local but also guys that have played a little college football?
It's huge, and that's a big piece. We learned that at UTSA. We brought that class in, and there are no upperclassmen. There are no seniors and juniors to show the guys the ropes, and whether it's with school or football. So to have a guy like Ian Box and Xavier Nolan and Hurd and guys that have come in from college to help these young guys through that transition, but definitely in guys that know the Valley and take pride in the Valley. And I think that's what you see. Those guys are competing their tails off, all of them. The guys that just came out of high school. I love the Valley athletes. They play with a chip on the shoulder, and they're out there competing every day, and I'm loving those dudes right now.
Coach, what are your thoughts on today's practice and how it all went?
It was good. Could have been better. Could have been worse. But I think and we'll look at the film. But you saw guys flying around, a lot of effort, a lot of mistakes. Heck yeah, where it's only a second day in pads, and then they've got they're learning an offensive and defensive system, and they're going to class in 15 hours in study hall and trying to figure out where to get the best tacos in town. So I mean, there's a lot of things on their mind right now. But I thought the effort was good. And guys are moving around fast and getting after each other, but taking care of each other at the same time.
Why do you think it was important to open up your first team practice to the community and have this big event?
Well, today, that was awesome to see that many fans here. Kind of remind me of a NFL training camp practice, But this is their team. This is the Valley's team, and obviously our home facility being under construction right now limits us to getting a lot of open practices there. But to be able to come out here, especially right now, one of our first practices, and to let them see, this is real, and see those decals on the helmets, and you can hear them cheering for the good play. So it was a cool atmosphere. I think our guys loved it. They were fired up. We had guys that said they never played in front of this many people before in high school. So it was cool.
And a couple of weeks of practice already in, but I don't know if you can tell us, what do you think the Valley can expect to see from the field that's a standout player so far?
Oh, there's a few guys, and you can tell the Ian Boxes, Xavier Nolan, those guys, the guys that have already played, they've been through a college season. You can see them picking things up a little quicker. Of course, Aiden's done a good job at quarterback picking things up, and Tony Diaz and some guys in the back end with Hurd. And so there's a lot of guys right now that's kind of early, and you'll see some guys pick it up quicker and they'll look better earlier, and other guys it takes them a little longer to figure it out. So the next month, probably about the middle of October, you'll start to see some good battles in positions, and of course keeping guys healthy. We got a plan there to make sure we got guys healthy so they can compete. Then they start getting midterms and everything else on their mind. So it'll be a good process, a fun process for us, because we'll see those guys that light bulbs will go off. They'll start to develop. I think we're the only probably team in the nation right now going through training camp that's gaining weight. Most people lose weight when they practice, but our guys are eating so good down here that we're all gaining weight. So that's not a problem for us. But fun time for us, excited to get started and now start seeing those guys develop on the field.
Coach, building those relationships with a lot of these newcomers that are new to college football and building them up, just what have been some of those questions that the players have asked you as they just keep growing into that system of playing college football, going to class for 15 hours, and knowing how to just balance their time and knowing what to do on the field? Yeah,
that's a big piece of everything we're doing. We have a player development piece in our day. where a different coach has a different topic, and really educating these guys on a lot of things that not just related to football but life, in so many things. I think we just had our first financial literacy lesson, teaching these guys how to budget money and things like that on Sunday. So all just everything that's hitting them right now, but living on their own for the first time and being in a new place, a new town. So there's so many things that we have to educate them on right now, and we're doing that every day.
Coach, you talk about it. You've had these guys on campus now for a few weeks. Just what have you seen from them these past few weeks, and just kind of what do you want to see from them moving forward?
These guys are all in, and going back to the last time we did this, and guys would come in and guys would quit. I mean, we've added 13 guys. Nobody's wanted to leave this thing. Everyone, we still got guys knocking on the door to want to be a part of it, but we've had to limit the numbers. But these guys are just eating it up right now. I mean, they're there every day. They're working their tails off. They're all in, and it's really fun. It's a fun group. It kind of again, going back to the caliber of guys we were looking for in this first class, and the leaders and the mentality, the guys that love to compete and work. So and that's what you're seeing every day.
All right, guys, last question. I got to get going.
How do you think the team is getting used to the lifestyle here in the Valley?
They're loving it, man. They're still figuring it out. It's cool to hear some of the conversations and a lot of local guys taking them around places. But most of them are kind of staying local to campus, but they're starting to venture out to some places. But I mean, they love it. They're enjoying it.
All right, thanks.
Let's get you going, man. First practice in front of the community, man. What was it like just to get busy here and kind of hit your teammates and really get going there?
It was great. I mean, the support was amazing. I mean, to show up and practice in front of, couple thousand people, it's amazing. Like, that many people pull up to watch us practice, just to practice. So I think people are excited, and it means everything that everyone pulls up and watches us.
And I think you were one of the first guys that had some college football experience to announce their commitment here and sign here, man. So what attracted you to this place, and what kind of caught your eye about this UTRGV football program?
It was a great opportunity, and I've played for Coach Bush before in high school, so I already knew what he's about. I know what he stands for. I know what kind of man he is. And whenever I called him up and I asked him, and I mean, it wasn't really a question, to be honest. It was just, if he said yes, I was going. So.
And as one of the few guys here with college football experience under your belt, you've been at Lamar, man. So what are you looking forward to most about getting here and kind of being one of the guys that can lead this your position group there, the outside linebacker spot?
It's a lot of pressure. It's my first time being in a real leadership role, so but it's a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. So I just do my best to be a good man first, be a good example, and I don't need to talk. The rest will do it for itself. They'll just watch me, and I hope I can just set a good example for these guys. They're young, so.
Thank you.
For you, the younger players that are looking up to you at the moment, what's kind of been like the Q&A session on a daily basis, whether it's just learning their routines or just learning their time management as a student first? What's kind of been that responsibility for you now that you step into the leadership role?
I would say it's a lot of comparison stuff. They want to know, like, these guys are young. They want to know how they stack up compared to other guys, because I've been there and I've seen it. And then, yes, of course, they want to know, like, how do they manage their time? They want to know, like, when they should be putting in the extra work and what they need to do to get to that level. So I just give them the best advice I can. I try to speak from experience, and I try to lead them in the right direction. So.
Why do you think it was important to open up your first team practice to the community?
I think it's important because of all the support we've gotten, all the donations, everything. These people deserve to watch us and see where their money's going, see where their support's going, who they're supporting, the names on the back of the jerseys and the numbers. So I think that's why it's important. Let them see us.
Knowing that you've been coached by Coach Bush in high school and now again, back again in college, what has that experience been like for you, having him back as a coach? It's
incredible. I love that dude. He's an excellent coach. He's an even better man, better father. So I look up to him, and it's just a blessing to be back. So.
And what's the team chemistry been like so far? You're only a couple weeks in practice, but so far, what can you tell how the team chemistry is going to be building up to be?
It's good. We have a long way to go. Coach Bush always tells us unity is the secret. That's his big thing. So we're not there yet, and the best teams are the closest teams. So, but it's a good start. It's a good foundation. We're very close so far.
With your former experience playing too, just what makes building a football program just so meaningful and so special to you personally?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say it's pretty special to be the first of anything, especially to be the first transfer player or the first ever football team on campus, especially a Division I campus. That's pretty special. So I don't think a lot of people get to say that, they did that. So yeah, I mean, it's a blessing. So.
What's your motivation for every day?
My little brother. He looks up to me. I look down on him. I model his behavior all the time. He does a lot of stuff right that even I can't do. So my little brother means everything to me, and to set a good example and to do good things. I wake up in the morning, I think of him. So yeah.
Okay, Marcus, first question, man. Your first thoughts on the Rio Grande Valley, getting down here in a new place and kind of being a part of starting something new?
Well, my first thought is really just family. It's family oriented. They welcomed me with open arms. My family felt comfortable here. Beautiful out here. I know it gets a little hot, but it's beautiful, just right. Also, just the food. The food, man. The fajitas. I mean, I love some fajitas, man. The barbecues are pretty good as well. So, yeah, that's how my experience has been.
And then what were some of your takeaways from tonight's practice, man? Defense did some good things, few takeaways and 7-on-7 and team drills, man. Just what are your thoughts on just the way the defense is looking so far?
We're progressing. We're pretty young. I mean, of course, I know a lot of young guys. It's only a few veterans. Is me, Box, a couple other guys. So we're young. We're progressing. I think tonight we took a positive step in the right direction as a D unit. The DBs got some things we got to clean up, but that comes with the territory. That just comes with being young, youth. But overall, as a collective, as a D unit, I think we took a right step into the right direction.
Collectively, just what is Coach Bush culturally trying to instill for you guys as a first-generation group of players that step into UTRGV football?
Yes, sir. Repeat that last part.
What is Coach Bush trying to instill culturally for you guys as a first-generation part of UTRGV football?
Really just one win a day. Collectively win a day, and that just means 1% better, be better than you were yesterday. Everything's just right as I just acknowledged with the weather. There's some days where it's hot, and just having that mindset and everything's just right, man. We right where we need to be. We're doing what we need to do, and just attacking it. And that +2 mentality is something we've been preaching for the last 2-3 weeks. +2 is just giving that +2 effort. What in practice is the line, but just on the field, man, giving that +2 effort in there, it'll carry over when the lights turn on.
Why do you think it was important to open up your first team practice to the community?
Well, the Valley has backed us. One, these things, these pads, these good things, the good gear, the support they've shown us in the stadium, and just backing us with really speaking from my experience and welcoming me with open arms. I think it was important to show our fans and show the people that support us that we've been working. That investment is going somewhere, man. We're working our tail off, +2 mentality, and we're gonna win every day.
What advice would you give to the team, like for veterans and for the new recruits coming in?
For the veterans, one, we just got to lead. Lead is with a lot of youth. You got to lead. You got to lead on good days. You got to lead on bad days. It comes with the territory. Sometimes you got to take. You got to lead the ship, whether it's the Carnival cruise, or it's the Titanic. You got to lead whether it's good or bad. And then two, with the new recruits, man, we building something. We're building something down here in the Valley, man. The thing's getting popping and cracking, especially on the D unit side. We got a great coaching staff, a great leader in Coach Bush, and man, come join the family.
I know it's been a few short weeks since you guys have kind of got to know each other, kind of built some chemistry, but just as a defensive unit and as a team, just kind of what's that identity that you guys want to work toward 2025?
I think we're still working on just having a holistic identity. But I think we want to have all hats to the football. Like I referenced earlier, win the day, like +2 effort, that mindset, that mentality. I think a lot of coaches is preaching is grit, having a lot of that dog mentality. So I think as we go along, it's only like week three, week 2 of pads. So I think we're just gonna continue to build that and find that identity.
And I know season tickets are almost sold out, so seeing that, knowing the community is already rallying around you guys, just what does that kind of mean to y'all, and just kind of does that motivate y'all heading into the 2025?
Yes, sir. That shows us the support we have from the Valley. But whether it's is one is we're appreciative of of course the season tickets being there, but we got to show up and do our jobs, and we understand that as a defense and on offense and as a team standpoint. But we are very much appreciative, and that means a lot that we are getting that back in from the Valley.
Awesome. Thank you.
You got one more.